y'all, welcome back to my channel. I am Sunny Brooks, and if you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. While y'all are here, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, the notification bell, and if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, y'all already know, leave them below. Today I am talking about healing and growth, things that are getting in your way from healing and growing. So I truly believe that healing and growing is a continuous thing. I don't think we ever really reach this state of we are no longer healing or no longer need healing or we no longer need to grow. We are good. So at times in life, we can become very stagnant and not experience any growth and change in a while, and or not do any healing or doing the work to better ourselves. And because of that, we sometimes how do I put it? We sometimes get down on ourselves. We experience hardships. Sometimes we just kind of feel stagnant in life. And there are some things that are happening in our life that we are doing or that we are allowing to happen that get in the way of growing and healing. So I'm going to cover those things today. And yeah, keep watching. So the first thing that I feel like can get in our way of healing and growing at times is our pride. Listen, J. Cole said it. Pride is the devil. It got a hold on me. Y'all know our pride can truly get in the way of transformative change, from making decisions. It can get in the way of asking for help, because on the end of that help, of us asking for help or receiving help, at the end of that could be healing and growth, right? So it is our pride a lot of times that stops us from making decisions or making friends or just signing up for that course, because it's like, oh, I don't want to seem like I need this help, or even going to therapy. We're like, oh, ain't nothing wrong. Like, I don't need nobody to tell. Like, it's that fact or that thing that makes us sometimes feel like we need, or we don't want to ask anyone for anything, or we don't want to seem like we are struggling or that we have weaknesses or anything like that. It is that pride that get in our way of healing and growing. If we put our pride to the side, how much healing and growth can we cultivate, and how much healing and growth can we tap into if we just decide, okay, in this moment, in this instance, in this day, in this way and journey, in this place in my life, how can I put my pride aside, accept the help or accept the change or accept the places I am going in order to heal and or grow at the same time? So our pride is the one thing that I feel like continuously get in our way of just healing and growing. Like, I kind of get at the loss of words when it comes to pride, because it's one of those things that is hard to really talk about or give tips on how to overcome it and things like that, because it has to be something from internally. It has to be something internally that drives us or provoke us to change, allowing pride to be the driving force of decisions and things like that. The next thing that I feel like get in our way is our relationships at times. Sometimes we are either too codependent on relationships and people. Sometimes our relationships can be toxic. Sometimes our relationships can be draining. Sometimes our relationships can be a comfort spot for our BS and our complaining and all of that. Sometimes our relationships can really hold us back because we could be too focused on a relationship, and this could be romantically, it could be the parental relationship, it could be your friendships. Sometimes we can get so wrapped up, I know, like in romantic relationship, we can get so wrapped up in trying to be the best partner or trying to provide the best relationship environment, just trying to be the best in a relationship, that we neglect ourselves, our own healing and growth, trying to cultivate growth for a relationship that we're not doing for ourselves. It could be we so wrapped up in relationships that drain us, that just kind of, if we always figuring how could I say, like feeling like we are we're basically codependent on relationships. We don't feel like we can be by ourselves. We don't feel like we can spend time with ourselves. We're always trying to be on the phone with one of our friends or trying to be in the presence of a family member. Like, we just don't want to be alone. We could be codependent on relationships. Like, everything that happened, we're asking for their advice. We're asking for them what to do. And that could get in the way of our healing and our growth within ourselves, because if we are always asking or looking for something outside, we are disconnected internally or to ourselves. How can we heal ourselves if we cannot listen to ourselves? Because a lot of times we are listening to what other people are saying or listening to the advice they give us and not listening to what we already know and need within ourselves. So our relationships could definitely be one of those things that hinder our healing and growth. The next thing is our habits. Our habits. Listen, our habits can really get in the way, because sometimes I would say it's kind of obvious with certain habits, right? Like, quote unquote bad habits. I don't need to name any, but some that's just like, you know, that you have this type of habit and it continues to cause you to not be your best self or not indulge in things that feed your soul. And or on the opposite, we have these habits that may not be, we have a habit of like maybe procrastination. Habits of procrastination, or every time we about to start something, we have a habit of talking ourselves out of it. So our habits could definitely get in the way. It could be physical habits of things that we do, things we're buying and things that we're avoiding, or it could be like internal habits of like negative self-talk. Every time we want to do something, these negative thoughts come up, you know. So these are some things that we kind of want to evaluate. We want to look at our habits. We want to see how we are how we basically setting ourselves up for success, and whatever success look like for you. Do you listen to things or watch things that help you grow, or are you getting caught up in trash TV? Things like that. Let's like compare and contrast like your habits versus the things that you know will help heal and help you grow. If you guys are not already familiar with my podcast, Sunny Days, make sure you go check it out. It is on Apple iTunes, Spotify, Google Play. Sunny Days. Go check it out. There I drop all gems. I'm like kind of like, I love talking and I love helping people. So in that in those episodes and on that podcast, you will get way more information, way more guidance from me. So if you haven't already, make sure you check it out, especially if you like topics like this: healing, personal development, self-help, growth. That place is the place for you. Go check out my podcast, Sunny Days. The next thing I feel like get in the way of our healing and growth is the lack of boundaries. I talked about boundaries in a few episodes, not episodes, see, I'm talking about podcasts, and a few YouTube videos back. It was my unpopular self-care video, so if you haven't, go check that one out. But our lack of boundaries can really get in our way, because boundaries help us cultivate who we want to be, but also protect who we are. Like, boundaries help people understand and know how to handle us and know what we will and will not accept. So boundaries can get in the way of us growing. The lack of boundaries can get in the way of us growing, because if we're not having those difficult conversations, if we're not telling people how to treat us, how to handle us, if we're not allowing ourselves to have uncomfortable conversations when it comes to boundaries, are we really growing and or healing those parts of us that may be insecure to speak up and advocate for ourselves? So yeah. Next thing that gets in the way of our healing and growth is the lack of planning, organization, or routines. Kind of go all up in there. But the lack of planning, because planning, routines, or organizations kind of go together. Because sometimes we could just, well, oh, we're going with the flow, we're going with the flow. Yeah, but some things need to be planned out. You need to prepare for some things. Some things need some organization. You may need to organize documents. You may need to organize your thoughts. You may need to just organize your home. Just organization in general, and just being organized. And also routines. Routines help, like especially if you are basically in a place that you're trying to possibly go to the next level, or you're experience stagnation or anything like that. You may want to incorporate some strict and rigid routines to follow in order to get you there. So the lack of planning, organization, and routines could definitely get in the way of healing and growth. And then the next thing is the lack of doing the work. Yes, believe that change will come. Yes, believe and have the faith have faith the size of a mustard seed. Y'all, I'm about to mess that up. Yes, believe, have faith, have hope, all of these things. But you have to do the work. If you're not going to do the work behind the manifestation, if you're not going to do the work behind the rituals and behind the spells and behind all of this, what are we doing? We have to do the work, and we have to be prepared to receive what's coming for us. Yes, we can say, oh, I love this quote. I love this. I love that. But are you doing the work that's helping you grow and heal based on what the quote is saying? Are you doing the work? So not just talking about it, but actually being about it. Let's do the work in order to heal and grow, and not let's just talk about it and read about it and see other people doing the work. Okay, so hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, don't forget to leave them below. And again, don't forget to check out my podcast, Sunny Days. If you have already, let me know. If you haven't, you have any questions, let me know. But Sunny Days on all streaming platforms. Until we meet again, I'll see you later. Bye. Love you.